Namaste, friends. Welcome to my channel where divine wisdom flows freely for your soul expansion. I'm Shalini and I warmly welcome and appreciate all the old and new members on my portal. Thank you for your patience and receiving the divine wise words for your soul growth. Much gratitude to all of you. So, today I'm going to share a very interesting experience of mine with Babaji. So one day Babaji appeared in front of me and holded my hand and said, "Let's go." The decision was so sudden that he made up his mind at the moment and he wanted me to take to a certain place. Soon I realized that I was flying over oceans. He kept on holding my hand and we were flying together in the sky. I could see ocean below me and I was feeling cold air on my face. By the time I could understand, I was in front of a golden gate. I couldn't see any walls, but the gate was there. Slowly, the gate opened by itself, and I saw myself standing in a village whose floor was like an old villages, a little bit of muddy floor where somebody has recently put some water. So it was semi wet and the I could feel the smell of that dry mud, which is very unique smell, and it was very soothing. I looked at Babaji, but he wasn't there. So I started entering into the village. There were small huts on both sides of the way. I saw a young looking saint who was doing some exercise and some water ritual just beside the gate when I entered on my left hand side. He looked at me and without smiling, he said one word: service. His eyes were very sharp and he was gazing at me, and I nodded like a child and kept walking. Suddenly, I realized that he was none other than Muni Durvasa, about whom I studied in my school books and who is famous for his anger. I turned my back and looked at that person, and I saw that he was still gazing at me. And I slowly bowed my head to him, but he kept doing his exercises and his rituals. But he kept his gaze on me. A little ahead, I saw that there is a hut on my right hand side from which a very strong golden light was filtering out. The light was so strong that I couldn't see anything but only the golden light, and it was filtering from the windows. You remember the old times of windows where beautiful designs were made in the windows with the stone itself. We can see that in the olden times, in olden Indian cities, when we used to live in our big houses, and the windows were like made of stone, but beautifully carved stone where we can look through that kind of window. Maybe I can find some picture and post it here. So I kept on walking as I was curious to look inside the hut. The moment I reached in front of the hut, to my surprise, I saw Buddha meditating there. This golden light was coming from him, that was filtering from those windows. I could see him like a complete light, which is just golden light. I bowed to him. I was hearing just some chants. He didn't open his eyes, but telepathically he told me some message, and that is also the word called service. I didn't understand it completely, that why was I told this service word by Durvasa Muni and now by Lord Buddha. So without disturbing him, with my confused look, I bowed to him again and moved forward. I saw on my left hand side that Sri Ram, Ma Sita, and Sri Lakshman were standing. I mean, there was a hut. In front of that hut, Sri Ram, Ma Sita, and Sri Lakshman were standing. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I actually got jammed for a few minutes after seeing them. Sri Ram was sitting on a rock, and Ma Sita was standing by his side, and Lakshmanji was standing on the back side of Sri Ram. After bowing to them, Sri Ram also told me the same word called service. I simply nodded my head as I didn't have courage to ask Sri Ram anything about it. I turned to Masita, and as I had many questions, I asked her my question, and she answered me by explaining everything very calmly. Once I was satisfied with the answers, I bent down to touch Sri Ram's feet. And to my surprise, I saw miniature Hanumanji was sitting on the left side of his leg. He looked at me and he smiled at me. He was in his atomic version. He asked me not to be so shocked, instead focus on touching Sri Ram's feet. I touched Sri Ram's feet and took his blessings. Hanumanji also told me the same word, service. I also bowed to him gently. Now I was even more confused, but he kept on smiling as he was somehow understanding my confusion, but he didn't say anything. I got up and moved forward and saw Bhishma Pitamaha, Pandavas, and Ma Kunti in front of another hut, which was again in the same row. They all also told me the same word called service. And I didn't see Draupadi there, so I asked them, where is Draupadi? So they said, it's better you ask Sri Krishna. And that increased my confusion multifolds. Before I understood anything or could come out of the confusion, I realized that the road or the path where I was walking was about to end. But there was a little turning in front of that row that was turning to the right hand side. I was shocked to see that Krishna ji was standing there waiting for me, and he was smiling at me. Sri Radha ji was also with him. She was in her favorite pose by keeping her arms and head on Sri Krishna ji's shoulder, and they both were smiling as they were understanding my confusion. Krishna ji opened his arms to me so that I can just go and hug him, and I ran to hug him, and to my shock, I was vanished. I was trying to find myself where I am. I looked in front, back, sides, where I am, because I was seeing that I was trying to find myself with my consciousness. I mean, I'm as body was not there, but I was trying to find out that where am I? I mean, I just went to her Krishna and now I'm no more. And I was in a complete confusing state at that moment. And I realized I was merged into him. And when I looked at him to ask, where am I? He smiled at me and he told me, you are my element. I'm in you and you are in me. That particular experience has changed my life forever. But I was still confused with the blessing I received from all the divine beings called service. So I asked Krishna the meaning of it. He smiled at me and he told me, you will get to know about it soon. And really, later I was assigned a guru, and I don't want to disclose the name of that guru, who has helped me, and I would say still helping me to learn to be at divine service. This guru has changed me completely inside out. This astral experience has really shaken me up, and to my surprise and confusion, I had mixed feeling of surprise, confusion, happiness, curiosity. When I tried to find a place to know where I went with Babaji, I found that this place is called Siddhashram or Shangrila in Chinese term. Later, I understood that why I was taken there to the place. I was given permission to visit there whenever I want, and I visited there a few more times with amazingly different experiences. I'm sharing it because now, as I am asked to share my experiences publicly, as maybe this is the divine timing to share such experiences. You can perceive the information however you want, but just remember that we are the collective consciousness. So be kind and aware of yourself and your surroundings. Do write in the comments if you have any questions or want to share something. This may help someone. Share this video with whom you think it may resonate. Remember, your actions are your karma to the divine intention. May my gurus and other divine beings bless you too. So thank you for watching. Much love. Namaste.